And I was speaking about this morning, and relative to the change that I saw then versus the way AI is now adapting the change of music online, as well as products online, social media. It's really revamping a structure of our culture from the top down. I mean, all the way down to the guy who may be replaced at the warehouse to the people who are shifting opportunities to create AI tools and other things. And that they're sort of seeing as opportunities and making business out of now. You got 20, 30 somethings out here that are pumping out these tools and learning that step and realizing, well, why am I going to get a degree in, being an illegal or something, or why am I going after this particular, a trade when all of a sudden, I'm going to be replaced? Like, why am I stay like they're making some of those life choices right now to go, oh my gosh, why am I in college when I should be out there learning or doing? And maybe they're trying and realizing I'm not being taught any of this currently in my 4-year degree for 200,000 a year. Why am I still here?
You know,
Like, this is going to be gone in years, 6 months, 12 months. It's changing so fast.
and 2020 vision, I'm a little bit after you, but 2020 vision, or hindsight, I would have loved to have computer literacy and internet literacy taught to me in the late 2009s and the early 2010s, because to be able to have mastered it even at that point would have given me such an advantage right now. But the fact of the matter is, it did absolutely change so quickly and so rapidly that if you didn't kind of adapt with it and meet that curve where it was at, then you were kind of left behind. And I think, two examples in the live music industry, kind of getting back to the COVID era of it, you had Trey Anastasio on the one hand with the Beacon Jams, where he was just, streaming live solo shows of himself with Mark Janowitz, former guest of the show, lighting him up. And then, not I don't care what people say in the comments. I'm not a biggest fan of their music, but Goose absolutely took the situation of COVID to full advantage. And I mean, that's in my mind, they took advantage of that time and it propelled them forward. And there were other bands that fell off the map at that same time. And it was a much larger ratio falling off than catching on. Like that
Yeah.
adaptability curve is, at a certain point, it gets very steep.
It does. And it really ends up being the opportunity cost of one thing over another. My opportunity cost was, well, I'm not going to have an education, quote unquote, by the world's standards, which was still considered in more ways than it is now, in higher esteem for jobs and credibility and, goals and other things if you want to keep moving that route. I only did it as basically a tool to knowing that I never wanted to get into corporations in the first place. And it was a crime of opportunity I used to help gain momentum, learning, knowledge, education, etc. Always knowing that I was eventually going to be in an entrepreneurial business role. I just wasn't sure exactly when or how. I just knew that that was what I wanted to do no matter what. I just used the tools that were in front of me right now to get the momentum necessary to get there. And in 2007, I did. I jumped out and started my own business.